Before we started services, Colton's behavior was pretty much out of control with his emotions. I hadn't really had much experience in healthy parenting, and so we were constantly battling each other with wills. I used timeout through the help of the counselor with Suncoast Services, and that was okay as far as that went, but his behavior was still very challenging, and my parenting skills weren't up to par.
The children attend a group, their own group, while the parents are in their parenting group. The children then get an opportunity to work with other children their age. They learn about social emotional regulation, social development skills, as well as the same skills kind of that their parents are using.
We started the Incredible Years and immediately saw a difference from the beginning. Everything was much more positive. We learned a lot of skills, both myself as a parent and him as a child interacting in social environments and at home.
The parents learn to play. That's one of the first things that we teach, because as adults, it's something that we assume that children just do, and so we have them do that. And we ourselves don't necessarily remember how. It's something we've kind of gotten away from. So that's one of our first focuses, is how to play with our kids.
One was parent-child relationship through child-directed play. We would play together at least 10 minutes a day, and it was the bright spot of our days.
And then we take it the next step further in providing children with rules, routines, and then we incorporate incentives, how to effectively use timeout, how to not only teach our children to problem solve, but then how do we problem solve ourselves.
So before we started the group, when we would go to the store, it would be screaming. It would be high energy emotion, screaming at me, yelling at me, trying to get my attention and other people's attention. I used emotional coaching to help teach him how to cope with his emotions, and it started working from day one.
I saw him have a decrease in his anger, an increase in his compliance with his mom. So if she gave him a direction, he was much more likely to follow it. He also had an increase in his manners, which a lot of parents always like, as well as he had an increase in his friends.
In dinosaur school, he learned how to make friends, keep friends, by sharing, by taking turns.
So there's been an improvement in school behavior, which is one thing that we see a lot of parents come to us requesting assistance with, as well as just an improvement in overall behavior at home. Parents report that there's been an increase in the positive relationship going on between the parent that's attending and the children within the group.
The families get together and plan events and get a support system together so that they can feel connected to each other, because many of our families are isolated and they don't have anyone that they talk to.
Well, we know that treatment works.
I'm really happy that this group taught Colton and I how to have a brighter outlook on life.
I really enjoy being able to recreate the relationship with parents and kids. I see them come to me and there's a disconnect, and I feel bad, not just for the parents but for the children, and I think to myself, how can I help them? What can I do? What can I say that's going to help this relationship? Because that's really the most important relationship there is.